I gave my stepdaughter a house. She replaced me with her deadbeat dad. My fiancé agreed, so I took everything back and cut them both off. Hello Reddit I plus here. A few years ago, I met a woman named Marcy. She had this radiant smile, a laugh that came in snorts, and a daughter from a previous relationship named Tessa. Tessa was 17 when I met her. Awkward, funny, always buried in a book or stealing the last slice of pizza when she thought no one was looking. Marcy and I hit it off almost immediately. We moved in together after a year, and Tessa, to my surprise, warmed up to me pretty quickly. She started calling me Pops one day out of nowhere, and I just about cried into my coffee. I was never trying to be her dad. I just wanted to be there. She'd tell me about her drama at school, her fears about college, her dreams of opening a bakery that sold exclusively mini cakes. She called them cup-offies, don't ask. And over time, she became my daughter in every way except blood. Her real dad, Keith, hadn't been in the picture for a long time. Classic tale. Came in with a guitar and a dream, left with a DUI and a mysterious allergy to child support. Fast forward 4 years, Tessa was graduating college. I was so proud I could have exploded like a party balloon under a truck tire. Marcy and I were engaged by then, and as a graduation early wedding gift combo, I did something big. I bought Tessa a small starter home in a cute neighborhood. Yes, I put it in her name. Yes, I know how that sounds now. She cried when I gave it to her, told me she'd never forget what I did, said I was her real dad. Marcy was glowing. It felt like I had finally built the family I always wanted. And then, Keith reappeared. He popped back up like a raccoon at a barbecue, holding nothing but apologies, a flannel shirt tied around his waist, and some nonsense about reconnecting. I wasn't thrilled, but hey, maybe people change. Maybe they grow up. Maybe the raccoon learns to stop knocking over the trash can. Spoiler alert, he didn't. First, it was lunch with Tessa. Then she started inviting him over to the house. Then he was living there. Not renting, not contributing. Just squatting like a sentimental barnacle. I brought it up with Marcy, carefully. She got defensive, said, "It's her dad, she missed him. Let her have this." "But why does he have to live there?" I asked. "She's 22, not 12. He's 48, not 18. This man eats cereal straight out of the box and thinks Bitcoin is a video game." She laughed. I didn't. And here's where it all crashes down. One night, I go by the house unannounced. I was dropping off a vintage cake stand for Tessa. Cup-offies, remember? Keith answers the door shirtless, holding a half-eaten chicken leg and says, "Yo." Then I hear Tessa's voice from inside. "Pops, can you not just text next time?" It hit me in the face like a sock full of nickels. Not dad. Not thank you. Not even hi. I get back home, still dazed. Marcy's on the couch. I tell her what happened. She sighs and says, and I quote, "I knew this would upset you, but you have to understand. He's trying, and she wants a relationship with him. Maybe it's time you stepped back a bit." Stepped back. After I helped raise her. After I gave her a damn house. That was the moment I realized they didn't see me as family anymore. I was a bank with legs and decent lasagna. So, I did what any heartbroken, blindsided, passive-aggressively tech-savvy man would do. I checked the deed. Turns out I had put the house in Tessa's name, but I still held a silent second mortgage on it. And the utilities were under my name. So, I cut the power. Then the Wi-Fi. Then I filed for a lien based on gifting under undue emotional manipulation. My lawyer got creative. Shout out to Rick. Eventually, I reclaimed the property under a technicality involving unpaid property taxes, which they never switched out of my name because Keith thought you could just Venmo the government. I sold the house. I used the money to buy a boat I named Boundaries. As for Marcy and Tessa, I sent a letter. No yelling, no cursing, just, "You made your choice, I made mine. Enjoy Keith's cereal." They haven't reached out since. But last I checked, Keith was on Facebook Live arguing with a local Starbucks over the price of almond milk. And me, I'm doing just fine. Living on boundaries, sailing toward peace, petty as a raccoon with a grudge. Living on a boat wasn't the dream, not at first. I'm not exactly Hemingway. I don't smoke cigars, I get seasick if I sneeze too hard, and I once called the Coast Guard because I couldn't figure out how to anchor properly. But boundaries? She became therapy on water. There's something cleansing about being unreachable. No buzzes, no passive-aggressive texts, no "can we talk" messages followed by silence, which is emotional terrorism in my opinion. I took a few months off work. I freelance in IT, so thankfully I could earn from anywhere. And just floated. I read old books. I learned to cook without microwaves. I even tried yoga but pulled something that made me walk like a marionette for a week. Then came the email. Subject line, just talk. It was Tessa. She wrote, I know you're mad. I know we hurt you. I didn't realize how much until it was too late. Can we talk? For 2 weeks, I didn't respond. Not because I was trying to be cruel. I just didn't trust my ability to keep from saying something that'd sting. But eventually, curiosity cracked through the silence. We agreed to meet at a coffee shop. She looked different, older, somehow. A little less sparkle, more shadows under the eyes. And for the first time in forever, she wasn't smiling like she had a secret. I was stupid, she said, before the coffee even hit the table. No arguments here, I replied. Listen, forgiveness is holy, but I'm still me. She sighed. He let me down again. Left without saying anything. Took some of my stuff, even my stand mixer. Oof, not the stand mixer. That man was truly irredeemable. And Mom? I asked. She looked down. She went with him. Said she owed him another shot. I think she was embarrassed and mad that you took the house. I didn't take it, I said. I just stopped letting people live in it like it was a free Airbnb with 0-star reviews. She laughed. It was the old Tessa laugh, that half-snort one. For a second, I almost forgot everything. Then she said, I didn't come to ask for anything. I just wanted you to know I see it now. What you were trying to do. Who you were to me. I stared at her. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to say too little, too late. But truthfully, I was just tired. Tired of carrying resentment like a gym bag I didn't sign up for. Thank you, I said. We talked for an hour. About life. About Keith, who apparently is now off the grid in Idaho because of a bad crypto investment and a guy named Smiley. And about how hard it is to forgive people who don't apologize. Then she handed me a keychain. It was shaped like a tiny boat. On the back, it said, for the man who taught me what a real dad looks like, even if I didn't see it until he was already gone. Reader, I almost choked on my almond milk latte. We're not where we were. Maybe we never will be. But now, she calls sometimes, sends photos of her dog, asks how the boat life is going. Even came to visit Boundaries once and got chased by a seagull. We don't talk about that day. As for Marcy, last I heard, she and Keith tried starting a food truck business called Soul Chow. It folded in 2 weeks. Something about unrefrigerated shrimp and a Yelp war. Do I miss her? Sometimes. But I've learned this. Loving people doesn't mean you have to let them stay. You can wish someone well and still lock the door behind them. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got dinner to make and a storm to beat before sunset. And hey, if you ever meet someone who calls themselves a visionary entrepreneur but sleeps on an air mattress and eats cheese out of the bag, just check the property deed twice.